Today we were given a TGA Breeze 3 scooter for repair. Customer states that it's not holding the charge. So the chap brought it up. A guy in a market stall sold him it for 300 quid, which is not bad for the condition of it. TGA Breeze, big scooter, powerful, but yet again it's kind of obsolete. It's an old one, and that's what a market stall leader, that's what a market stall seller sells you. Indicator has seen better days. A wee screw sitting in there with a kind of terminal connection at the end of that. That's not the best, but hey ho, £300. So the customer says he's had it 2 weeks and it's not charging right. So we need to try and ascertain where the fault is. Is it the batteries? Is it no the batteries? The customer has said to me, complained to the market retailer, and he put a new set of batteries in, and it lasted again for another week. But looking at the battery charger myself says to me that's not the charger that's issued with this particular TGA Breeze scooter. The TGA Breeze is unique in its charging because it's a reverse polarity. These particular chargers here, these ones here, are usually 1 is positive, 3 is your negative, and the middle one here is inhibit. So if you have a look, it's difficult to see. If you have a look inside with yours, there should be numbers on there, 1, 2 and 3. So 1 is positive on a standard scooter. So you've got a Royale there, 1 is positive. Jazzy power chair, 1 is positive. Another Jazzy power chair in the distance, 1 is positive. There, for instance, you've got Inverca Mirage, 1 is positive. So all the scooters you see here, 1 is positive. Bar TGA Breeze. So as we said, 1 is positive, so let's try and stick the voltmeter positive in there and let's see if we can get a reading out of there. There's a lot of slack connection in there. We're not getting a voltage straight away, so there we are, it's minus. So minus about 20 volts, 21 volts, 22. So there's a slack connection inside there, as well as the market retailer and a market place gave him the wrong charger because we've got minus here. So technically speaking, we swap these round, putting 3 in positive. It's quite a bad connection there. And we're not getting a negative, so we know this is a positive sign, but also we need to replace the charging socket there. So the charger that he should have issued would have been a reverse polarity charger, which we do sell. So it's like a charger like this. It's a reverse polarity charger. So all that means is that the connections on the end of the charger have been changed round. There's numbers on here, you can see 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So all it is changing that connection over to that side and that connection over to that side. Where in this particular charger, white is positive and black negative, and that's your inhibit going to the middle. So as I say, on a TGA one, number 3 is positive, not number 1. So that's the main difference. So you can either do the proper thing like we like to do, is put a proper charger on it that's already pre-wired, or if you're struggling, what you could do is swap the two outside and then you can use an ordinary charger. But I always recommend that you check to make sure that the voltage is correct here, not that you put it on the wrong way around. Now what you also could do, we need to change that anyway, but also another way to change your positive, rather than using the connection on your charger socket, changing them around the outside ones, is to change the wires inside here. Now a lot of people are finding it very difficult. I've had a few questions on how to gain access in the back here. Well, I'm going to show you. What you need to do, first of all, this is the horn. Undo the disc holding the horn on. Okay, then you've got 2 screws underneath here. So what I need to do is unslacken that, pull it out, and then push the tiller right back, and then I can get access to these screws, and that will let, well, wait, that will let me to take this panel off, and I'll be able to replace the female side of the charging socket. Now I've noticed I'm having difficulties already. This is a plunger that you're supposed to pull out, and then you can physically adjust the angle of your tiller. But yet again, the dealer that sold them that, or the market seller at a marketplace, has decided not to bother. It's sea solid. You can see all the water ingress in there, so I now have to lubricate that, and hopefully I can get this out, because I need to get this out to gain access to the screws. Let me see if I can show you the screws here. There's one there on that side there, but there's no way I'll get a screwdriver in there. So here goes. Right, that's me added some lubrication, a couple of minutes in there, moving it around. That's pulled out, no problem. Tiller's gone all the way down, and now you can see the two screws that we have to remove. So I'll remove these two screws, and by the looks of things, I think somebody's already been in it, at it. Well, it is an old scooter at the end of the day, somebody's bound to have been in it. So I'll remove these screws and show you how it looks on the other side. So now that I've removed the screws underneath here, I can remove this panel. There you go. That's the ignition, we can remove that. And we've got nice access here. So the bit I'm talking about that we need to replace due to slack connection is this bit here. That's your female charging socket. Okay, now mind I said to you, you could change the wires around on the charger. So you could change it if you wanted to, put your positive for number 3 and your negative for number 4. But remember, then you have to move your inhibit wire over as well. But what you could do if you just have an ordinary charger and you know that 1 is positive, all you have to do is swap these 2 wires round. Cut these, put the black on the blue, then the blue on the black. But me personally, I would get the right charger for the job. So what I need to now do is remove this female charging socket and fit a new one, and I'll do that now, because that's what the problem is. That's why it's not charging. Number 1, it's the wrong charger been issued by a nutter at a local market, and number 2, the female socket is 1. So to gain access to that screw there and the one on the other side, I need to take off the front panel. That's why I've unscrewed the horn mounting. Lift the panel off, which is here. Lift it back up again, and then now I can get access to the screws. That's the screws here. Now remove these 2 screws and be able to pull that out, and I'll solder the wires back on again onto the new female housing or charging socket. So that's me unscrewed the screws. So before I do anything else, I'm going to take a couple of pictures with my mobile phone. So I know where all the wires go, just in case I forget. But I've done this so many times, I know where the wires go. But if this is the first time you've done it, I highly recommend. Quite difficult taking this off with one hand. And then you've got that one here, the green one, which goes to the inhibit, and then that should be us. So what I'll do is I'll solder these wires and put them on a new one, and then we'll refit it. Yeah, that's me. Got a new female charging socket. We can provide these if you need any. We've got metal ones, we've got plastic ones. This one came plastic, so we replaced it with the plastic one. Resolder them on and put heat shrink on it. connected them up the way they were supposed to, so we just need to refit it back again. Brown to brown, black to this one here, brown, and then put your inhibit back on here at the green, all the way home. We just screw these back on here. Right, now before I do anything, before I put it back together, I'm actually going to check to make sure that I'm getting the voltage now. So when we put it in, 3 is positive and 1 is negative. So now I've put the connections in, 3 positive and, sorry, this one's got 2 on it. 2 is, alright, I can see them better now. 1, 2 and 3, so the 2 outside ones you want to go to. Stick it in there, and that's just reading now proper 24 volts. So 24 volts, the battery's flat at that. So now what we need to do is charge her up with a proper reverse polarity charger, and then customer should be happy again. No slack connection here, as you can see, the voltage is not moving at all when I move the cables. So had to replace that and the charger. So I had to replace the connection here, I think they're only about a few pounds, and the charger. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. If you'd like to subscribe and like, I would appreciate that. And any questions you may have, please feel free to email us, put a comment down. I'd also advise that when people start dismantling the spaghetti junction here, is to always take pictures. Once I've fully charged it, I'm going to test the batteries to ensure that the batteries are actually okay, because it came from a market trader, just to make sure that the customer is getting something back that is reliable. Thank you very much for watching.